Well, it's a lot of rain today, and it's hard to get motivated on a rainy day. So today in the boat shop, I think we're going to work on a nice small project. We're going to restore the steering wheel to my Albin 27 pocket trawler. Hi, I'm Joe, and welcome to MotorCity Boat Works. Let's get to work. So my commitment to the viewers of this channel is that I'm going to show you things that you don't normally see on YouTube regarding boat building and amateur boat restoration. Everybody out there is grinding away on fiberglass, putting a coat of paint on stuff, but they very rarely show the details and some of the nuances of the equipment and techniques that you might use to try and bring back an old boat to its former glory or something better than it once was. What I hope to be able to show you is some of the tips and techniques and maybe some of the tools that I use. There's many ways to do things, but I always like to see new ideas and maybe add an extra item to my toolbox or my skill set. This week is no different. I'm going to be showing how to restore the steering wheel for the boat. It's called a destroyer wheel because it's so large. It's about 18 inches in diameter. It's made of a very high quality stainless steel, and although it's got a little bit of surface rust and maybe some paint or varnish on it from over the years, a little bit of a cleanup will go a long way, and this is something we definitely want to keep for the Albin 27 family cruiser. So why are we reusing this steering wheel? Well, one of the fundamental do-it-yourself budget boat restoration rules is rule number 6. Whenever possible, reuse the original parts that came with the boat. Reusing parts presumes that the materials you're working with are of good quality. This is not always the case for some old plastics or maybe chromed parts from back in the day, but things that are stainless steel, bronze, and sometimes aluminum, well, they can be polished and refurbished and reused on a boat. It'll save you a lot of money. Before we get started polishing the wheel, we need to take a look at the center cap. There used to be a plastic or wood cap that went in the center of the wheel to cover the retaining nut on the steering column, but that has long since either broken or gone missing. I've been trying to find a replacement cap, but everything that I've ordered is too big. The standard size seems to have changed over the last couple decades. Now, I debated trying to grind down, say, the teak insert or kind of sanding down one of the plastic insert caps, but it really doesn't make any sense. What you really want to do is make the hole that the caps fit into bigger, and there's only one way to do that. This is going to be a job for one of my favorite and perhaps newest boat restoration tool. I just started using it within the last couple months. This is going to be a job for the snake. What this is, it's basically a rotary type tool. One of the brand names is Dremel, but the reality is there are many companies that make this type of tool. For years, people would tell me that this was a great thing to use, it was awesome in the shop, and might have a lot of applications for my boat restoration projects. And I never really gave it much thought. I kind of discounted it because, let's face it, this tool is very difficult to hold in your hand and to get any type of precision work. So over the years, I had several of these tools. I occasionally used them, but they never really gave me the results that I wanted. And when I started working on the Albin 27, I started thinking about there must be a better way. Perhaps there was something I could do to this tool to just make it perform a little bit better. And that's what led me to the snake. What we basically have here is a rotary tool, but it has some accessories attached to it that transforms it into really probably the best tool that I have in my shop for detail work on fiberglass. This is the actual rotary tool. In its native form, it looks something like this, right? And you stick it in a box and you never use it. But What I've done here is I purchased from Amazon a bracket to mount the rotary tool to a piece of wood. The little black bracket on the side is the keeper that holds the end of the snake so that the thing doesn't fly all over the place as you're moving it to and from the boat, which will hold the actual flex shaft, the snake part of the snake. And that's this right here. It's a flex shaft that's about 3 feet long, but what makes it so great is that the end can be held almost like a pen or a pencil. Now, there are many brands that make this part of the rotary tool. It's a great accessory, but they're usually quite large, and they're maybe in an organic shape where you are supposed to wrap your fingers around it. It's really not natural. What makes this thing so great is it's like holding a pencil, and you can do very fine, detailed work, and you can put the tool over there and work over here. MotorCity Boat Works has no sponsors, and I get no compensation from any of the companies or the products that I sometimes mention on my channel. However, in the description, I sometimes put links for Amazon where you can find some of the tools or items that I'm using in the restoration of my boat. Amazon does provide a small commission if you use those links. Now, what really takes this tool to the next level is when you start looking into all of the variety and options there are for different sorts of tips and grinders and cutters that can be put on the end of it. And with a little bit of research, you can figure out what tip you need for what type of project. So you got to buy these tips in bulk, in a multi-pack, and they're not very expensive. You build up a stockpile of different sorts of tips and burrs and cutters, and now you have a tool that really can address quite a few different projects on your boat restoration. Now, I promise in another episode, I will go over in detail which tips I use for which types of projects, and we'll talk more in depth about the various options for this type of tool. The first tip I tried to enlarge the hole was a regular sanding drum tip that goes on the snake. That didn't work very well. I switched to a grinding stone, which is supposed to be good for metal, but that also didn't do very much. And ultimately, what I found worked was a engraving, cutting bit that is used for extra hard metals. It eventually cut through the stainless steel, and I was able to enlarge the hole for the Helm wheel. There are times when no other tool can accomplish what the snake can do. It can just get into places and do things that these other larger tools, well, they're just not made to do. Polishing metal is a great skill to learn. It'll always come in handy on a boat restoration. Stainless steel in a saltwater environment will sometimes get surface rust on it. And the easy way to get that off is to use a piece of very fine bronze wool. Not steel wool. Steel wool will leave behind rusty streaks and doesn't look good, but bronze wool doesn't rust. Keep a handy bit with you on your boat, and you can always keep your stainless steel looking good. I like to use a product called Flitz. It's a type of metal polish. It's a little bit expensive, but the results are really, really good. A little bit of Flitz and a polishing bit, and you can just get off all of the old paint and varnish, take down any surface rust, and the stainless steel really starts to show its luster. So the original Helm wheel, man, it looks pretty good. And now the question is, I was thinking for some variety, maybe I want to do some type of different steering wheel, something that would give the boat maybe a little bit more character. I've always been partial to spoked wheels. I think they're very salty looking. and I came across one is aluminum and some rubber, and I just think it looks kind of tough, but I'm not sure that it's the right size. See what you think. So this is what the original wheel looks at the helm here. It's real nice. T-cap, or there's a black plastic cap that goes in there now. Everything fits great, and it looks really great. This is the original. And here's option 2. This is a 15-inch spoke wheel, aluminum and some plastic and rubber. It's not bad. It's kind of salty. It's got a steering wheel here. It's pretty nice. However, it is a little bit smaller. So I'll be interested to hear your ideas on which one you think I should go with. The only problem with the small black steering wheel is that it's about 2.5 to 3 inches smaller in diameter than the original wheel. The original wheel was a 18-inch destroyer wheel, and I just feel like maybe it's not quite big enough. Maybe I want to look and find some other type of antique or vintage spoke wheel. If I can get one big enough, I think it would look really great. I feel like this one was a great little successful project. I hope you got something out of it. I'll be back next time with another episode about how I'm restoring my Albin 27 pocket trawler. I hope to see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Stay motivated. If you're interested in contacting me or asking a question and you don't have a YouTube account, simply navigate to the MotorCity Boat Works website or the MotorCity Boat Works YouTube channel. And in the show description, there'll be a link. If you like these videos, please subscribe and click the like button. These videos would not be possible without your support. Thank you.